What's going on, guys? Welcome back to FALhunter. Today, we are going to talk about the greatest, in our opinion, best decoys in the world.
Period.
End of story. The greatest. Let's get it. Alright, so, what is your favorite decoy? Favorite brand? Right now, just spit it out.
Avian X.
Why?
Hands down. Well, after duck hunting for 24 seasons now, just finished my 24th straight season, I've had the opportunity to run everything from G&H, GHG, Tangle Free, Flambeaus, pretty much everything. And I can sit here and confidently tell you that Avian X, regardless of what species they are hands down the best decoy that has ever been produced.
So, I have just finished my 8th year, I believe. 8th, 9th, 6th, 5th, I don't know, somewhere around there. Anyways, I'm probably the opposite. Chris has experienced every single decoy because of how long he's been hunting. I've experienced every single decoy because I'm one of those impulsive buyers that has to have the best of everything, no matter if I just bought a brand new compound bow, but then 3 weeks later they release a new one that's the latest and greatest. I need it!
That's it.
So, I have pretty much used every decoy as well for that reason. And my opinion, the best decoy in the market is Avian X. And the reason I believe Avian X is the best is after sifting through all the decoys, there's some decoys that are made of very hard plastics. There's some decoys made out of very soft plastics. Now, with hard plastics, some decoys that they're the stability of them, they're sturdy, they don't break, they're good. Now, that's not always the case. There are some very hard plastic ones that literally, if you drop, they shatter.
Yeah.
And the light ones, sometimes they are a little more fragile. They could pop easy or whatnot. But that's not always the case as well. Avian X, in my opinion, is just right. They are definitely lighter than most, and you can see right here, they squish. A lot of decoys don't do that. Yeah. And I believe, as long as it's not cheap plastic, and this is not cheap plastic, that with the squishiness, that actually protects it. Because when you step on them, I don't know if you guys hunt out boats or not, you load your boat up and you have to jump in, or you fall off one of the seats a little bit with your footing and step on a decoy. Well, these just squish and they come right back. And being a boat hunter, sometimes, we're pretty rough for the decoys. We grab them, we chuck them in the boat. They bounce around when you're hitting them big white caps. And
yeah, I'm stepping on them. The dogs are running all over the top of them.
And these Avian X's have lasted. We're not saying other decoys don't last, but these have lasted with the best of them. And yet, they also are lighter. Now, there are lighter decoys on the market, but not very many. These are actually one of the lighter decoys on the market. And I think you lose something when you get a little too light. So, for instance, the Dakotas, they're packables. Those look amazing. But those are so light, there's issues with, for instance, the little things in the back are popping off. Yeah, they're getting warped. Yeah. They're possibly blowing over in the wind.
The overall valve stems on them. Mm-hmm. If you take an Avian X decoy, you've got very soft, like plastic as far as the overall decoy itself, and then you flip it over and you've got this very nice, sturdy, weighted keel. And these decoys don't roll in the wind. We've never. Even hunting rollers out in the Delta. They're riding. They're not doing this. They're riding. So everything from the weight of them to the keel design to the feather detail. Pull up that hen right there.
Yeah. That's
you don't get any better design.
Yeah, like we said, we're not completely just biased thinking these are the greatest things ever. In our opinion, we do like them better than the rest, but there are other companies that make very nice looking decoys. This just has everything we're looking for. And actually, even it seems funny. One of the simplest things, that's one of my favorite things with Avian X, is their keel. Their keel is amazing. I mean, they have these little snap-on parts. They got multiple snap-on parts.
Oh,
where you could. That's one of my things. We hunt Delta, we hunt Refuge, we hunt everywhere.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have 15 feet of line wrapped up on these things. Well,
but
a lot of these keels.
Yet we're hunting 18 inches.
Yeah,
of water.
and a lot of these keels, you can't just stop it, and you have to. I mean, what do you do with 15 feet when you're hunting 18 inches? But these, they have these nice little snaps. I mean, this isn't brain science here. This is easy stuff. But for some reason, most other companies don't have a keel like this. I mean, it's just such a nice design. You have multiple points of hookups. You have multiple stops for your line. It'll snap in. That will stop it. You only unravel what you need. I mean, just the general, like we said, they're about as light as you get without going to the inflatable Dakotas, I think. But yet, they don't sacrifice anything from going light.
No.
I think they're just that right amount.
And, so a big thing with, nice decoys, I used to run greenhead gear, GHGs for a while, and great looking decoys as far as a paint scheme and a color scheme goes. But the problem with GHG was that the paint was chipping, and they'd last maybe a season, and then they'd start flaking. So it's like, yeah, you invested, some money into good quality decoys. I'm not going to sit here and argue that GHG aren't good looking decoys. I mean, they, Greenhead Gear makes phenomenal decoys. Their paint is where it's lacking. A decoy does me no good if the top half of his head is white. Yeah, is down to just bare material after one season. They're getting banged together, and just put a paint on there that's gonna withstand the abuse and not chip.
Yeah. So, I'm big into the flocking game. I like. Well, I guess I'm personally not big into it because I don't own a bunch. I do have some, but I love a fully flocked decoy, and that was one of my biggest withdrawals from just being 100% content with these Avian X's. I did go back and forth between wanting to fully commit to Dakotas, Packables, and Avian X's. I committed with the Avian X's, but gosh, the only thing I just wish at minimum the heads were flocked and the butt was flocked, and that's just something very easy to do.
That's well above my pay grade. I mean,
well. I'm saying the greatest decoy out there would, in our opinion again, would be this Avian X with a flocked head and flocked butt.
If they sold these decoys right here with a flocked head, whoo! I mean, you've got absolutely zero shine, and the head just absolutely looks phenomenal. I mean, if somebody made a decoy that was Avian X with a flocked head, oh, sign me up.
What's that saying that everyone's saying now? Hold my beer. Okay, Avian X with flocked head and flocked butt. Boom! Just like that. So, in my opinion, in Chris's opinion, the best decoy on the planet. You have the best keel. They're flocked. They look amazing. The detail is amazing. They're very light. The coloring detail from Avian X on the rest of the body is spectacular. And the durability of these things, with it being that rubbery plastic that they're using, is just awesome. So you can't beat this. This is what we're going to be using all season. So there it is. Here we go. Oh, did you guys hear that? Whoa, there's a duck. That's a real duck. All right, it wasn't real, but it looks good.
All right, guys. Well, you just saw one phenomenal looking decoy. Tom did one heck of a job. I can't wait to run these. You know, it's April and duck season needs to hurry up and get here like now, because having Avian X decoys now with a flocked head, I can't imagine.
Yeah, I'm excited to use them. And the cool thing about it is it's a very, very easy process. I have another video up. Guys, go check that out. It's how to flock them.
Even I can do it, and that says a lot.
And I specialize in stupid. That's why I'm a fireman. So I have a dumbed down way of doing it. It's not fancy airbrushing. It's not any of this fancy stuff. It's not just putting flocking on. Personally, I don't like that. There's a lot of people who only flock, but they don't have the skill or the materials to airbrush. So they just leave a plain old Jane flocking. That I personally like the original paint of the decoy better than that. My option is an in-between, but yet you need nothing special. Every one of us has it.
No, and I mean, I sat back and watched the process, and that was quick. And it's not only quick, but it looks good and it's clean.
Yep, and it's very easy. So check that video out, guys. And you could do it on anything. It's not just Avian X. That's just mine and Chris's dream decoy. So I made him,
and we got him.
Yeah. So, anyways, you got anything else to say?
No, just make sure to smash that like button for us. It really helps us out. And if you guys aren't already, hit that subscribe button. We're going to try to bring you guys a whole bunch of content here throughout the off season. If they'll let us start fishing again, we're going to start doing some fishing. We're going to get some coyote hunts and all this kind of good stuff. And then we're going to get right on rolling into duck season again. So anyways, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.